Al Talks. As promised, I will be talking about seeing Tim Dillon live in Vicar Street, along with Sam Tallent opening up for him. Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. This podcast I started 3 years ago to chronicle me starting stand up. This podcast is a weekly podcast. It comes out once a week, and this is just a small little introduction video into the podcast. So down below in the description of each episode, you can go to my Linktree and find links to everything connected to me. This podcast is available on YouTube, which you're watching it on right now, and also on Spotify. But yeah, that is just a small introduction into this podcast and everything that goes along with it. Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. This camera's a little bit weird, or my glasses are dirty. I don't know. Right, lighting situation is a little bit weird, but anyway. Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. As promised, I will be talking about seeing Tim Dillon live in Vicar Street, along with Sam Tallent opening up for him. And the computer is starting its usual bullshit. But yeah, so let's see Sam Tallent, Sam Tallent and Tim Dillon perform together. This is this like I said, I record a bunch of batch of episodes together in the one go. So this is kind of a refresh after 3 weeks. What I've been up to the last 3 weeks. Not much really. But yeah, so I went to see Tim Dillon live in Vicar Street. Before I get to that, I'll talk about Sam opening up. It was very funny because, like, in these big venues, most of the time they don't really have a host. So Sam Tallent announced himself onto the stage, and then he brought Tim Dillon up. But when he he was off to the side where there was a curtain, and he was did the announcements, whatever. And when he got on to the stage, he was like, "Oh, that was pretty good. Who was that guy doing the announcements?" It was very, very funny, which I really enjoyed. Sam Tallent released a special not too long ago, so all the material that he was doing was new, and it was great. It was very, very funny. Great crowd engagement. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Pretty fun episode. A pretty fun show. And then he brought Tim Dillon up. Tim Dillon, I've never seen him live before, so it was very, very interesting for me. Great show. If this comes out as a special, I'm really looking forward to it because the show was really good. There was a lot of very topical conversations. Again, really good crowd work. He was doing, he's explaining the homeless people over in the US. And there was somebody in their audience who lived in LA. She lived in Skid Row, where there's a huge population of homeless people. And it's a very rough area and stuff like that. And Tim asked her, it's just like, "Oh, what were you doing there?" And somebody from the back of the audience shouts up, "Prostitute." Yeah, very, very rowdy audience at the Tim Dillon show. But I kind of knew Tim's fans are a big bunch of rowdy people. There was the energy in the theater was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And then Sam Tallent said he's coming back because Vicar Street asked him to headline there, so he'll be coming back. I think he said in September. So I definitely want to try and go see that. We're now in April. September is a couple of months away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5 months away. Interesting. Yes. No, there's no reminders. today's calendar. But yeah, so looking forward to that. You definitely want to grab a ticket for that because Sam Tallent is a great comic. Like I got to meet him and his partner in crime, Nathan Lund, who they do the Chubby Behemoth podcast with, and also did the Wide World, the Sam's Travel show, where they were in Japan, I think in Tokyo. And if you haven't watched it, check it out. I'm going to put a link down below for it, because it's pretty good. It's great. And that's pretty much it. I think when I'm recording this, I'm debating whether or not to go to an open mic tomorrow. For context, I'm recording this on the 17th, so tomorrow's the 18th. There's an open mic. I probably will go because, to be honest, like I was planning on not traveling anywhere for comedy this week, but I am kind of really itching to go. So I think I might go do an open mic tomorrow. And because I don't know, it's just really itching to do comedy. Because like I said, in a month's time, I'm doing paid shows in a month's time. So for context, I don't get a lot of paid comedy. And when people pay tickets and it's your job to entertain you, or you entertain them, you want to make sure the material is really solid, works well. So the new stuff, I want to really make sure it's tightened up and doing well before I unleash it on the unsuspecting public. Because, you know, it's something that was taught to me by a lot of comics, and I always try to take their advice on board, especially people who've been doing longer than me. So that's, I think, yeah, definitely tomorrow, just fuck it, go do the open mic, because I've got ideas running around in my head, because it was an old joke. Because what I'm trying to do is, at the moment, how I'm trying to write is to make my jokes a little bit more universal, or not universal. Let's just say to tailor them more to the audience, kind of be able to switch back and forth. Because I was at a couple of open mics a while back that there was a lot of young people in the audience, and like the younger generation, they don't get all the references unless it was kind of for example, like some of them don't know about Seinfeld. Okay, when you say, oh, you know, like Seinfeld, they're like, what? And you're like, oh, jeez, because some of them might have grown up with, like, for them, like, comedy sitcom might be like, I don't know, Two Broke Girls, like Big Bang Theory be a big one, like, so you're kind of, if you lose them referencing old shit, they're kind of looking at you going, what the fuck? So, you know, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So there's a couple of jokes I'm going to redo so I can switch back and forth depending on the audience. I always, like, that's why when I go do shows, I always try to be there early when the MC is talking to the audience, so I know where people are from if I want to come up with something topical. Like I said, I don't really do crowd work because I'm very bad at it, but it's definitely something I want to try. The computers informed me that OBS Studio is using your microphone, but I would hope so, because otherwise this entire episode would be gone to fucking waste. That has happened before. But yeah, so that's kind of my plan. I hope you've been enjoying the bulk content as well over the last couple of weeks. This is another kind of bulk recording. It's only 2 episodes. In the next episode, I'm going to be talking about the Amazon's Prime new series, Fallout. Well, it's new to Amazon Prime, the series, but it's not new to the world because it's been a game for quite a while, developed by Bethesda, so I'll be talking about that. And yeah, so that is next week's episode. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. yeah, great seeing Tim Dillon live for the very first time. Very funny comic, great content and material. Very, very current topics that he covered, but great. Um, Quite a lot of laughs in there. And the thing about him I really enjoyed is that he was having fun on stage himself. Because sometimes I've been to comedy shows and, like, I discussed it about the episode with David Howe, which was last week's episode. And again, today I was listening to Mark Norman's podcast with Sam Morrell, We Might Be Drunk. And again, they were, talking about comedy and stuff, like how, David Howe, like, I think it was a different podcast as well. They talked about, he just, like, he would talk to the curtain, like, I discussed this in the episode, but it's just, like I said, our job as comics is very simple, just to entertain. That's what we do with our jokes. It's not like, some people get mad and comedians make a off-color joke or whatnot, but it's like, we don't, how to explain it, we don't, like, we exist in the society, but we're not really bound by its rules. We're kind of, living outside of it, nearly looking from it from a kind of, it's not a serious point of view. It's satirical. It's, it's very satire sort of stuff. So that's why I never like when people get mad, when they go, I shouldn't have said that joke, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, because they do say laughter is the best medicine. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to try and do tomorrow at the open mic. Try and rework some old stuff, maybe wrap around other things, try and punch up bits, all get ready for this little tour, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, so that is the end of the episode. I'm gonna go and record another one, like I said, about Fallout. So hope you enjoyed this one. As per usual, thanks for watching. Links down below to all the people that I appreciate and support. I've got links to my friend's podcast. I got links to other comedians. Check them out. This guys who helped me with the podcast, graphic designers and all that. So please give them your support like you give me. And I shall see you in the next episode. Bye bye.